Welcome to the Creature Weekly Brief. I'm Tim.
I'm Sai.
How are you today?
Doing well. I got my hot chocolate.
Sponsored by Dunkin'.
We do.
We do.
Bro.
Dude.
Why isn't Dunkin'
I mean, then
paying
again,
us?
I don't fuck with coffee to begin with. I only like the hot chocolate because I'm a pussy.
You need to get sponsored.
Yeah,
What the
can you
fuck?
shut
No,
the fuck up?
I can get my own hot
Can
chocolate
you
drink like the
shut the
Charlie,
fuck
dude.
up?
What are you talking about?
You are
That's
ruining
the
this.
side. That's the side.
Just hot
The
chocolate.
side. It's just hot chocolate. Dude, fucking...
Hot chocolate with milk.
It
Cold
tastes
milk.
so good. I love Dunkin'. Dunkin', this one's for you.
It's called Dunk or Dunkin'.
You are my fire.
Do you call it Dunk or Dunkin'?
Dunkin'.
Dunk, Dunkin', Dunkies, or Dunkin' Donuts? What
I
do
call
you
it
say?
double D.
No, you don't.
It's not good.
It's
Hey,
my
yo,
double
wanna go to
Ds.
the double D later?
No, it's my double D's. I always have my double D's on me.
No.
I think that's a great
Dunkies.
name for
It's
it.
Dunkies.
But let's talk about some weed.
We can talk about some weed. We can talk about some Mary J.
That's the
You guys
fucking
are
nerdiest
police.
shit.
The cops.
You're cops.
We're fucking
Let's
narcs,
talk about
dude.
that sticky, dude.
You want to talk about grass?
Eat
Yo,
grass. Wait,
yo,
what is
Riley.
it? Eat grass, smoke.
Bro,
No, no.
eat ass.
Eat ass,
Grass,
smoke
eat
grass.
ass.
That's the
Riley, you smoke grass. Can you get me some?
bro, I smoke rocks. I'm not
No, the Mary J. I don't think anybody's called it Mary J. in
That's
like
That's
20
what
years.
fucking
You
CNN
just
calls
tweeted.
it. Mary J. Mary J. Until 2 minutes ago. All right. So according
go
to
to New
CNN, the House of Representatives have approved legislation that would decriminalize marijuana and seek to address the devastating injustices caused by the war on drugs. So they're actually acknowledging the war on drugs, which is one thing. Also,
Very impressive.
the vote is really cool too because like it was pretty bipartisan. 222 Democrats, 5 Republicans,
150 nerds.
the Libertarian, but 158 nerds and boomers said no. So like,
If you voted no on that bill, especially since it's decriminalization, it's not legalization.
uh-huh.
I legitimately think no woman wants to touch you, and there's probably some women that voted for it. That you as well. No woman wants to touch you or go near you. I think
it's
you
incredible.
smell. I think you have never left your room. I'm really like against these people. They're like incel board redditors.
Some of the Republicans
the
that voted are.
Tim is just describing himself. He's like, you're me, dude. What the fuck?
Some
Never
of the-
touched, left in a shed.
Left in the creature shed.
Some of the people that voted for the bill, like Matt Gaetz. Whatever.
Just keep going.
Matt, what?
Matt Gaetz, he's like the Florida
Oh, okay,
representative.
Gates.
Yeah, I mean, there's like a few Republicans that did, but then again, on the Democrat side, like there were a few that didn't, like Cherry Bustos, Dan Lipinski, Henry Kuehler, like all these fuckers that
Pussies.
should have, yeah.
Fucking
Now, I
nerds.
don't. What is the full act? It's like it's called the MORE Act. It would remove marijuana from the Controlled Substances Act.
Yeah.
And eliminate criminal penalties
it
for
makes it not a
individuals
Schedule
who
1.
manufacture, distribute, or possess marijuana.
It makes it not a Schedule 1, and it's like more in a limbo space.
Yeah.
But it also allows it to be open to more scientific studies.
Now, this is on the federal level, so, like, obviously states still can be like, this is illegal. So, like, you can't just go and get weed if your state doesn't allow that to happen.
But I
It's
think
not
it
legal.
also makes it. This will also make it easier to pay federal taxes for all the weed distributors.
This
that are
helps,
out now.
like, all these, like, farms and stuff. And,
because
like,
they've had to be doing it, counting all their cash by hand,
Yeah.
like super sketchily.
Which makes me kind of like, it's kind of weird to understand because like a lot of farmers across the nation have switched to farming for weed and
Yeah, they
switched to
farm hemp.
farming for hemp.
Yeah.
And so like it's just interesting that Republicans, even though they're like the party for the farmers and like the working class in that sense,
Yeah.
they're voting against this type of
I
legislation.
don't think
which helps.
I don't think it's a good thing for an expansion of a bunch of people smoking weed.
Mhm.
But I also don't want somebody to have a monopoly on the farms. But this
That's
is
what's
a very
happening. There is becoming a monopoly.
yeah,
on
there's
the
becoming
weed
a monopoly,
farms.
but I also feel like they're expanding too quickly, and if it kind of becomes like we're gonna have areas that turn into the cash crop areas of weed, which
That's already happening.
yeah, it's really bad.
Yeah. But it's happening only because it's not legal everywhere.
Yeah, but I think it also needs to be regulated because the thing is, like, weed is weed is fine, but it's not healthy for you. And like people try to make it out that way, but like you can't have like all your farms turned into hemp farms.
But that's the overall crisis of farms to begin with.
Also, like, this is kind of related to what we had a conversation about this yesterday. It's getting increasingly difficult to have a farm.
That's right.
So hemp is extremely profitable, and
Yeah.
that's why
It's very
there are a lot
easy to
of farms-
cultivate as well.
A lot of farms are becoming conglomerates together and becoming hemp-only farms,
Yeah.
which is not only bad for like our agriculture, but it's a sign of the times. It's the only way that those people can survive.
So there's
Yeah.
also with the hemp farms and stuff. This is really cool, interesting thing to like think about. There's like a lot of like racial issues in this too. So
Yeah.
a lot of
There's
it is
only-
old money.
Yeah,
really.
there's
and,
only like...
and it's like these
so-
rich white families that have had like these huge conglomerations that are buying up like people that are racial minorities that have these farms and stuff.
In Massachusetts, dude, is one of the first states to legalize.
Yeah.
One black guy owns a distribution.
That's it. That's the only one. And
only
even
one.
he's getting pressured to sell his thing because
Yeah.
he's getting like so much competitiveness.
We're just citing Patriot
But
Acts.
Yeah.
Good for us.
Oh yeah, that's
Only
true.
top
That's
tier
true.
research here at the Creeker News
That's
Studio.
so funny. I didn't even realize that's Patriot Act.
No, I realized it right after I said it. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
That is just the Patriot Act. Yeah, it's really fucked. I also think while it's acknowledging the war on drugs, it's not acknowledging the racial bias of the war on drugs, and decriminalizing it while is good for the weed farmers right now.
It's a step. It's not something that's gonna completely change the game. That's
Yeah,
the thing. That's
but
what people need to
also
realize.
it feels kind of gross that it's become so profitable for white people that they no longer can jail minorities, and that's basically just what happened.
Right, that's the thing. That the gross part is not the decriminalization or the legalization. The gross part is
It's
that
profit.
Now it's become acceptable for white people to smoke weed. So now
It's not just
becoming
that. It's also
decriminalized.
profit, right?
Right.
I think it's
That's the
also-
thing.
I think it's
Legalizing
also-
hate
Like you
minority.
can't jail the people that are consuming your product as
Right.
well.
I think
So,
it's
like,
also not it's not addressing enough what the war on drugs did to black and brown communities.
Right.
And like I don't know like if the I don't
It is
think-
working towards that. The more act. I mean, the
I
last
think
part of it.
it's-
I think the E stands for the expungement. So
Yeah, I
it's
think it's-
supposed to be like
I think
creating
it
some
helps.
type of process. That
It helps as a step
create
in the right
review hearings.
direction, but it feels like a step to jack off really rich white dudes before addressing the pain that the U.S. government has caused for black and brown communities.
Yo, we got some love for the Creeker sticker.
Yeah.
Did we?
Yeah.
Oh, the Krieger sticker is sick.
Right.
This is the first time you get to see it. Come on.
No, because it's always been cut out because the
interesting, 'cause
table's
it's on
so
the side.
low. Your high table fucking
Yeah. Now it's
exposed
front
the
and
Krieger
center, bro.
sticker.
Look at that.
You're a monolith.
Yeah, we
Give
can
us
talk
the
about the
news on the
monolith.
monolith.
My favorite story.
In my opinion, the world is ending. Prepare for war with extraterrestrial beings.
What did you say
Sai,
about
I do not
paradox?
want your
The world is ending.
the Fermi paradox. Oh,
Dude, this man is
we
capping
can
you
get
guys.
into the Fermi paradox while I'm talking about it. From our story last week, there was a mysterious, seemingly alien monolith that has been popping up all over the
Alien.
world. There were now sightings in Utah, Romania, and even California. Some
the
speculate
McDonald's
that it's
ordering station,
possible.
dude.
It's the kiosk.
Some doubters, Santa deniers, like Sai,
Oh my God.
Don't
believe
spread
that
that
it's
slander.
a
Dude, I
viral
believe in both
marketing
Rudolph
campaign.
and Santa, dude. What the
Can you
fuck?
stop interrupting
Just
me right
that
now?
no
This is my
elves,
story.
no
Let's
other
talk. But the most recently, the monolith in California was taken down by 3 masked men, defacing the monolith in the name of Christ. In the video, the group of men are seen pushing the monolith over and chanting, "America first!" and "Christ is King." The group of men are seen pushing the statue over and chant... Oh, wait, I just said that. The men, one of whom was wearing a Make America Great Again headband, called part of the monolith's construction gay. Is that how you see it, Sai? I don't care. Moving on. Then replaced its monolith with a wooden cross. Why can't we have nice things? This was a distraction from the tired fire of a year that we've been having, but the Tiki Torch Whites have found a way to even ruin this. Yeah, I personally believe it's aliens, and prepare for war, because if you're looking into it, if you've ever heard of the Fermi paradox, if there is another alien species that is of our well, they wouldn't be of our intelligence, because if they can reach our planet, they're of much higher intelligence than us. We will be extinct. We will be run extinct.
Think so?
Yeah. So that's the Fermi paradox.
Oh yeah,
because
so they're gonna put down monoliths and make us go, oh, what is this? Let me
no,
look.
right now they're trying to be kind. They're trying to be nice. Think
So
about
what are these
think about the
monoliths doing?
colonizers.
What are these monoliths doing then?
I think it's just the first step. This is
Alright,
like
alright.
this is like releasing stuff
Here's
into our
the
atmosphere
real
about
tea.
killing
Christ
us.
is king, so
Christ is
And
king.
America is first.
we have nothing to worry about.
The monolith is a giant dildo.
Anything's a dildo. If you're
Anything can be a dildo, yeah. If you put your mind to
What
it.
if this is just God's dildo? He's just dropping it down for us.
He does not have a metal dildo that's like...
Why not?
How tall is it? first
Why
of all?
not?
How tall is the
It's like
monolith?
15 feet.
No, it's not taller than me,
that
dude.
many-
Yeah, it is. It is taller than you. It's like 10 to 15. It's between there. I
How
think
heavy
it's
is it?
12. It's
Bro, I would have swiped on
Pretty
that
heavy.
fucking. I would have swiped on that monolith on 10.
All right. Those measurements could
That's
be
crazy.
those measurements could be completely fake for all I know.
no, it's not. Like if you look at the
It's
pictures,
fake
it's
news
literally
media.
if you look at the pictures of the hikers next to it, it's
The
literally
fake
the monolith's
news.
double the size of
Wow. Okay, so here's the real tea. Okay, I don't know
I'm
about
listening.
this alien bullshit. Okay.
them. Oh, so you're a Santa denier.
No, this is not a hot take. This is the real take. This shit is just a marketing scheme. It's
For
like
what?
An ad.
For
so
what?
Mark my words, we're gonna see some shit on like the Super Bowl where like
What-
a Dorito
what
comes out of it or
marketer?
some shit.
What marketer?
Or
Yeah,
or
okay,
like I know
but
like
so-
McDonald's came out with their McRib again or some shit. It's like the ordering station
Okay,
or some
so
shit, dude.
any of them can do that now because of the attention the monolith got. That doesn't mean they made the monolith. You can capitalize off of the marketing of it.
Do that.
Yeah.
You can pretend that you're like monolith gang.
Yeah,
But, like,
exactly. You can
get
make
really
a.
creative.
I agree. Actually, you can make a viral
Monolith
marketing.
gang.
Monolith
You can
gang.
make a viral marketing campaign off the monolith.
That's the monoliths.
The Mick monolith. Somebody said that this is.
Monolith fries.
I remember somebody was like, as an art history major, I'm gonna tell you guys the real deal. And first off, fuck off.
Yeah.
Art history majors
Yeah,
have
art doesn't
no shit
exist.
on
What are
me.
you talking about? Dude?
But
Sorry.
fucking
I'm
so
like basically an arts major too. Poli sci's low key arts.
no, it is. It's a
Social
it's,
science.
No, mine's actually a
Actually,
bachelor's
mine's
of science.
considered a social science. It's an art.
Mine's a bachelor's of science. Is yours a bachelor's of
BA.
art?
It's a BA.
Oh, mine's a BS.
BS.
It's bullshit.
But my second major is a BS.
But yeah, fucking. I think Monolith is the end of times. Final
Yo,
arc.
y'all
Hey,
putting
hey,
too much-
hey, hey! Take a deep breath. Final arc of 2020
See,
and the end of the world.
nah.
Bro, did you guys know? That,
Do you know what 2020 means?
Did you guys know?
What does 2020 mean?
If you translate to Latin, okay, 2020, it means the end of the world.
Loose translation.
But yeah, let's go
totally
to.
forgot.
Let's move to our next story.
Yeah, let's talk about Elliot Page.
Elliot Page came out. Congrats.
Congrats, yeah. So
Very
Elliot
cool.
Page, star of Inception, Juno, and the Umbrella Academy, has come out as transgender. The statement he made was very important. He writes, "My joy is real, but it's also fragile. The truth is, despite feeling profoundly happy right now and knowing how much privilege I carry, I'm also scared. I'm scared of the invasiveness, the hate, the jokes, and end of violence. To be clear, I am not trying to dampen a moment that is joyous and one that I celebrate, but I also want to address the full picture. The statistics are staggering. Discrimination between trans people is rife, insidious, cruel, resulting in horrific consequences. In 2020 alone, it has been reported that at least 40 transgender people have been murdered, the majority of which were Black and Latinx trans women. To the political leaders who work to criminalize trans healthcare and deny our right to exist, and to all those with a massive platform who continue to spew hostility towards the trans community, you have blood on your hands. You unleash a fury of vile and demeaning rage that lands on the shoulders of the trans community in which 40% of trans adults report attempting suicide. Enough is enough." Yeah, I mean, I don't want to read the whole.
It's it was a
It
very
was really
powerful. It was a powerful,
Like,
and
just
profound
reading that
statement.
is just insane.
It's very cool that somebody came out. Well, people aren't separating the actor from the
Movie making,
role.
filmmaking is an art. It's not like your
yeah.
identity.
A
or
lot of
anything.
people play like genders they don't identify with,
Yeah.
and I think that's kind of normal. Your whole role is playing somebody you're not.
At least
Yeah.
it should be normalized.
Yeah, it should be normalized to an extent, and I think
And honestly,
I
it's
don't think
sad.
you need to like people were saying like Juno's a male pregnancy movie, which take a deep breath.
Yeah.
Weird.
I also kind of wanted to comment. I despite like against my better judgment, I watched Ben Shapiro talking about Elliot Page.
Fuck Ben Shapiro.
And he
What
was
did he say?
basically saying that he's like, oh well, it's none of my business how you identify, but like insisted on misgendering Elliot, which was
Yeah.
like it's like a persistent, like you have to try to be that ignorant. I don't know, it really bothered me.
There was like so
finish
many
the video.
there were so many videos that were out, and even by people that call themselves feminists.
Yeah.
TERFs are fucking prominent. Just saying, like being like Elliot Page, is just doing this
For
because
performative reasons.
no, like a lot of I think the feminists, like TERFs, would say Elliot Page is doing this because they're not comfortable in their female skin, so they need to identify as a man to be a
What is a
lesbian, trans exclusionary radical feminist. So like J.K. Rowling's a TERF.
That's crazy.
Wow.
So like J.K. Rowling, how like she makes very like transphobic comments, but still calls herself a feminist. She's a TERF. Like a lot of people, anybody that claims to be a feminist, and then shit on Elliot Page is a TERF. And a lot of people, I
Those are, like,
think,
people that pick and choose.
yeah, a lot of people were very upset. I think a lot of people that at this point self-identify as TERFs, were very upset that they're like people were commenting like, "Wow, another loss for the lesbian community as a role model," and it's like, take a deep breath.
Yeah.
It's not how you're supposed to look at
It's
it.
not.
at all.
It's not how that works.
I'll be honest with you. I thought like when I first like saw like the headline on Twitter, I was like, "Is this like some performative shit?" Right? Like obviously because like she has like a popular platform. That's what I assumed.
I
But
think
like it's like a bad assumption. Like when you read that speech, like you can understand first of all like the stature that he has to begin with, and he has to make a good apology in a sense. Not apology like in a statement, right?
It's a call to action.
And
So I
that
think-
that portion that we just read, even just a small portion, is just like really empowering.
So I
thought it
think
was
I
empowering.
think a lot of gender is performative.
Yeah.
So most of the gender roles we conform to is performative. So that's why like a lot of people during quarantine are finding themselves questioning their gender. And it's because what fucking book was it? It was gender theory. But basically you perform for society, so when you're by yourself, you're only performing for yourself. Your
Right.
daily routines, you're eventually going to start breaking gender norms because it's more comfortable for you. And it gives you more room to, you know, kind of feel like who you really are. And so it's not performative. I bet they probably deal with a lot of gender dysphoria their whole lives. But I think a lot of gender in itself is performative, and I think even no matter like what somebody identifies as, just respect it. Like if you don't understand it,
like
just
it's not even
respect
it's
it.
not like with the Ben Shapiro's of the world, right? It's not even a take. It's just like pure like
It's hatred on purpose.
it's hatred, yeah.
But it's like
It's
like,
purposeful bullying.
right. But
Because it's
like,
not an opinion.
I
It's like
just-
just be
yeah.
decent, you know.
I mean, I don't understand how somebody could be like, "Oh, it's none of my business," but I'm going to insist on misgendering you. and
So
make you feel
my
bad.
my problem
Like,
with
if it's none of
all
your
of
business, it's none of
my
your
problem
business.
with like it's the misgendering. It's also like there's so many cases of transgender people like dying across like the world, right? And it's like you're not even understanding like the hatred that they get
And
as
I
it
think,
is.
and I think a lot of, I think probably if Elliot Page didn't make such a grand statement calling out, probably most of those TERFs and like people like Ben Shapiro, people like Candace Owens, I don't think they would have responded to this. If they had just come out as trans, been like, hey, my pronouns are he, they, I feel very comfortable in my
It's
skin
the
doing
statement
this.
you think.
I think it's the statement saying, "Hey, you're responsible for trans deaths. You're a piece of shit." Like this, it's much more nuanced than that. They spoke much more.
I think
well.
it's great that he said
But,
that.
like,
I think it gives it more value.
He basically said, "Hey, fuck off.
Yeah.
Go bite a dick. You're causing trans deaths and trans violence."
I felt that it was like less about them and more about the trans community as a whole, because I feel like it's very easy for somebody who has a platform to come out and say that they're trans and overshadow many other trans people who may feel
Yeah.
as if they're.
But I feel like these
significant.
people like Ben Shapiro, Candace Owens, all the TERFs. I don't know a notable TERF other than J.K. Rowling. Wouldn't have responded if
Did she respond to it?
not J.K. Rowling, but like Candace Owens
Right.
and Ben Shapiro, and like there's other like internet TERFs.
Yeah.
The only one I know of any nobility is fucking J.K. Rowling.
Ben Shapiro.
And Ben Shapiro and Candace Owens. I don't think they would have responded if they had just came out and been like, I'm trans. I think their main problem with it, or at least they wouldn't have made like whole videos on it. It probably would have been like a section on their podcast. Instead, like they became very vile towards him because fucking he called them out. He said, "You're a piece of shit."
Right.
I think that's the reason that most conservatives or TERFs are coming out with full hate videos. And I think it's also just kind of a power grab because they were so well spoken or well written, I guess.
We can move on.
But yeah, fuck TERFs, fuck transphobes. Respect pronouns. If you don't understand it, just respect it and move on. Yeah, we can move on to talking about COVID for a little bit.
Yeah, you can talk about this.
Because we talk about it fucking constantly.
How do you not?
Fair enough.
Yeah, it's affecting our society.
In the past
I'm literally at
20
Zoom University.
in the past 24 hours we've had the US has had a new 210,000 COVID cases. Considering Thanksgiving the 2-week mark is by next week, and then Christmas is coming up soon. A lot of hospitals expect to be overloaded in the first weeks of January, which will cause a massive rise in deaths. So that's terrifying. But the vaccine was just has been authorized in the UK. I think it's having emergency approval by the FDA within the next week. But states are already planning how to distribute. I know once it gets approved, New York has a plan to distribute to nursing homes and first responders and stuff. I didn't mean first responders. I meant hospital frontline workers. There we go. And that would be that'll be most places. But the problem is there's not enough money going around for vaccines, like to distribute, because it's going to cost a ridiculous amount of money. And the Trump administration is still trying to figure out how to fucking steal an election, so they're not even paying attention to the fact that thousands of people are dying a day.
Yeah.
They do have a task force, though. Hopefully, they're making good progress. It's not very transparent. That's the problem. That's why I don't want to be too hypercritical, because maybe they are making a difference. Maybe he is. I would like to think that he is, right? But it's just tough because you have another administration coming in, and you need to acknowledge that you need to give these numbers and info to them, which I think they have a little bit, but not entirely.
Yeah, and so coming up with the vaccine, we won't get them for a couple months, at least until probably January, February, March, April.
I don't even know. Like, it's
no,
just all
I'm saying the earliest we would get it is April.
And that's with proper funding.
That's with proper funding and proper distribution. It would be 2 doses. I think it's 1 at the beginning of the week, and you get it 1 then the week after.
Oh, okay.
So right
It's
now,
actually an enema.
they're expecting 40 million vaccines to be available to the end of the month, as long as the Pfizer and Moderna vaccines are approved by the FDA. And that will allow for 20 million people to get vaccinated, which I think will help. Especially since if you look at like New York's original spike, we had a lot of frontline workers dying. So I think that's very good. I think the most at risk should get it. And I think that will cause a stop, at least help pause the deaths, maybe drive it down so hospitals aren't overloaded.
Because right now they are, again,
yeah,
which is very sad.
And I'm hoping that we can get enough distributed, and I think we should focus on the more affected states right now, especially since Thanksgiving and stuff. No, I think we should get it to the Midwest right now. Because I'm saying the Midwest and stuff deserves it first, because their cases are driving up like crazy. So their hospitals, which are already underfunded, understaffed, are going to be so overloaded that there's going to be such a massive mortality rate there.
Sure.
If you get the vaccines there first for their frontline workers and most at risk, then we'll probably be able to curb most of the deaths, because New York pretty much hasn't been seeing a second spike.
There's a small spike, but it hasn't.
But it's spiking.
No. But I'm saying if you get to the places that are going to have the most deaths, you can curb most of the deaths.
Yeah. My whole thing is I want frontline workers to be able to get those vaccines because it's not their fault.
Yeah.
But I feel like the people that are not going out and wearing their masks and like on purpose, they should be the people that don't get the vaccine forever. You deserve it. I don't care about it.
I think they should, dude.
Well,
I
frontline-
would look to be
Frontline
positive.
workers are going to get it first. So that's a positive. And that's what I'm saying. I think the same. That's why I'm saying the Midwest should get it first, especially since their spikes are so high. Because when you're looking at New York at the beginning, there were so many doctors that were dying because of COVID. Because they would catch it
And it's good to
and they
note
would
that,
die.
like, once they get this vaccine, they're not, like, 100% fucking safe.
Right.
Yeah.
It's, like, 95% effective, and then you have to look at existing conditions.
Right.
There's all a lot of these, like,
Also,
issues at
70%
play.
of the population has to be inoculated for.
Yeah, so we're not going to be able to get the 70% vaccinated until at least November of next year.
So around this time, maybe.
So yeah, we're about a year away from us going back to quote unquote normal life. So
that's basically another year of our lives.
But we are lucky too that there are now more people, like more like investors,
Sure.
like investing in like vaccines and like research. So it's really speeding up. And who knows? Like basically, what I in my COVID research, I found that a lot of the new updates or the new COVID like vaccines are mRNA vaccines.
yeah.
Which means they'll actually just give you the genetic information of COVID rather than giving you COVID itself,
That's right.
so that you don't get sick. Which allows your body to code for the protein that detects COVID for you to basically be healthy, which is good. And as long as COVID doesn't evolve, it would be a good thing.
The thing is,
But the
I
whole
don't
thing is
think
funding.
yeah.
The whole
funding.
thing is getting people to actually take the vaccine.
And a structure for distribution. That's
Right.
another thing we really don't
So
have.
a lot
right
of
now.
political like heads, like popular political heads like Barack Obama, Hillary Clinton, I think another one, Michelle Obama. They're all
it's their
gonna
responsibility.
they're about to take it publicly.
Mhm.
So once the
Oh,
vaccine comes
shit.
out, to show that
That's crazy.
they're gonna also be one of the first few people.
So my thing is, I think this vaccine will probably kill off COVID. I know there was a lot of fear about it being seasonal, but at this point, we've had COVID for almost a year. If it hasn't mutated yet, I don't think it will. Or we'd at least see,
Knock on wood.
knock on wood. Or at least we'd see, not maybe not a mutation, but at least other strains. That would probably be a bigger issue. But we haven't seen either of that, and it's been pretty much a year.
Fuck,
So-
got that news, gas.
dude.
I'm
What I'm scared about is the
thinking it's pretty
flu
chill.
season coming up.
Yeah.
I mean, it is. We're in flu season right now.
I
It's,
feel like wearing your mask out will curb the flu as well,
That's true.
unintentionally.
Yeah,
That's just how I
CDC's
feel.
having
Washing
issues
your
with their
hands, putting hand
messaging.
sanitizer,
Their messaging
yeah.
because people feel like if they're outside, they don't need to wear a mask. So they're being very explicit with their new regulations that just came out. But they're like, no, wear a mask as much as fucking often unless you're in your home alone.
Right.
well,
Unless you're Macaulay Culkin, dude. Wear your fucking mask.
Unless you're me. I'm just built different.
Status built differently.
But that's about COVID.
no,
Stay
he
healthy.
wears a mask, dude.
I would say stay healthy, stay safe. Make sure you wear a mask. If you have to interact with other people, like we do on a fucking almost daily basis, make sure your bubble's
It's minimal.
small.
Yeah.
We like it's just us. We barely interact with our families at this point.
Yeah.
So yeah, be safe, be healthy.
My real father.
I've been in an orphanage my whole life.
Please, sir, give me the vaccine.
But I hope you all have. Oh wait, we're not done. I was about to say. I was about
we
to
got
fucking end
39
it up.
minutes. We can do a debate. We can talk about
So ask the chat which one they want.
the
So-
Friends. We can talk about the Friends thing.
I think we just talk about the Friends. I think
We have some
Friends-
insights, dude.
Yeah.
So let me
what was the
start
question
this.
again?
Let me start this off. with my
Sure,
own
sure.
experience.
Don't breathe December.
Don't breathe December. So we have you guys are both second year college students. I'm a first year college student, even though we're all the same year. This is my freshman year, quote unquote. I found it very difficult to interact with other people that go to my college campus, especially staying home.
Nerd.
So, do you think it's possible to make friends with online school?
I don't.
Here's the thing.
Let's get separate. Let's just give opening statements. Riley.
Here you
I
go.
don't think so because I feel like the entire idea behind college is you build relationships through struggle.
We
So-
can link this to also school in general,
Right.
Because I think everyone's.
I
going
don't think.
through
Yeah, I
this.
don't think it's just college because I'm thinking about
I
it
do
now.
think, however, college is is just built different. So I feel
Yeah.
like when you go to college, it's like you're eating with people, you're away from your family, you're building these strong bonds, you're becoming independent, and you are
Yeah.
relying on people for like your company. You are learning how to be a better like
And a
roommate,
person.
how to be a better individual. You're
Right.
now like autonomous, so you're doing things on your own. And I feel like college online, if you haven't already done college in person, isn't the same as that. You might get the same education if you can learn the same way online, but I don't think you're making those same connections. And also, you go to like clubs and you go to parties and you go to things like that build character as a person, and you learn how to be a human in society
And-
better that way.
And to be clear, this isn't talking about like if a person went to a hybrid model. This is like a lot of colleges wound up just staying home.
Right.
So that's specifically what we're talking about to
Right.
the people in the chat.
And a hybrid model is just being in person.
Yeah.
Nothing else is open. There's no clubs. there's
That,
no
and it's much easier to make friends. Like I know a lot of people that have been on campus are still having parties and doing all that shit.
Yeah,
But Sai,
which is not. Don't do that.
your opening statement.
I think it's a mixed bag. I mean, I think that first of all, part of the reason why people aren't like being able to like make friends is because they're not trying as much because they're depressed as it is, and they just don't want
That's
to
fair.
because they think it's hard, which it is. It is hard. So like, I mean, aka me too,
Yeah.
honestly. So I was an orientation leader this semester, and like I was planning on going back. Obviously, I didn't. Right, I'm here. But like, right in the middle, like right
I don't know what you're
before
talking about. Where
OL
did
was
you see?
supposed to happen.
Yeah,
Right,
this is where the
right,
office is.
right when orientation was supposed to happen, they said no, we're not going back. We're doing the orientation online. Right. This is the news when everyone got their thing that they're staying home for the semester or
Yeah.
getting an apartment. And like I would have to do these Zoom meetings, and a lot of these people were like meeting from like they were talking to each other through the Zoom, or they were talking to each other through our GroupMe and stuff. And then I saw like after orientation ended, like a few of them made like friends. Like
Yeah.
they're like talking. Like I see them like they went and visited each other, like at their homes, which is wild, right? This random
insane.
person, and like some of them are even moving in together for apartments this semester. So like, it's happening, right? Another way is like clubs and orgs.
Yeah.
So if you're more involved in that, which is hard because you have to join these Zoom calls, and it's
It's
not
an extra Zoom call on top of
Yeah.
your already like hours staring at a screen.
Also,
at
what
a
like
day.
it's not the same experience as being with these people, right?
Yeah, you're not like really running campus events like you expected.
Yeah.
It's much.
But
harder.
you join these and you talk to people and you just chill for a bit.
Yeah, I think.
Those
so.
are the only ways you can make friends.
In
And then from
my-
class too.
I love your sweatshirt. That's
So
fucking
recycle?
dope. Yeah.
I got this thrifting, I think. It's so
You got
short
that
though.
thrifting?
Look at how short this shit is.
That looks sick. Yeah, it's a little short. I need like extra large, otherwise I
Yeah.
won't get it. But it looks sick.
That's the reason I got it.
Sai's got a dope fucking sweatshirt on. Yo, Riley,
Yes.
zoom in on fucking Sai's sweatshirt right now. The recycled thing.
Also,
It's right here. Sit up. Yeah, we gotta see it. I think that looks dope. It's like embroidered and shit.
also,
We're good though.
also another thing is,
Hold on, I'm fucking it up. Hold up. Got it. Good?
Yeah.
another thing is obviously in class, like a lot of my classes have taken group meets, like they set up group meets and shit. You just talk on there. I'll be honest with you, I don't fucking interact with any of them. I don't want to talk with anyone. And it's bad because like even my like roommates and just people I know in college, I haven't been reaching out to because I get
Yeah.
depressed when I see they're all hanging out in college and I'm at home.
Yeah, so my personal take is it's super difficult to do all that stuff, especially now. I get way more nervous with speaking online than
Yeah.
speaking in person. I think it feels more embarrassing saying the wrong thing over a call
100%.
than it does in person. And like I've tried to make friends and I've made like a couple, but like we don't talk that much.
Oh,
And
yeah.
like so like it's hard when I wasn't talking to people I'm already friends with to try and make new ones that I'm also not gonna talk to. And then there's also the issue, and I think this is more for people that are in high school right now, or even not even high school. Think about like kids in like
kindergarten,
elementary school.
Mm.
Like I think that's like very essential for like your growing up and your social like your social abilities to like interact with other kids.
Sure.
And if you're a single child, and your parents are both working, but let's say you're old enough, let's say it's like 4th grade, so you can stay home and your parents are like, that's fine. Fucking, what is your interactions? Fortnite? Like, it's fucking
That's what
crazy.
kids are doing, though. Like,
Yeah, but that's like it. That's about it.
New game.
Which isn't, like, bad, but fucking...
I don't know, it's the same thing as a physical experience, you know?
It's not the same.
Yeah.
I also think fucking, yeah, quarantine's weird. It's hard to make friends. It's not impossible.
That's what I like to
It's
think.
very difficult.
But it's like, if you
Did
try,
just text
you
us
will.
something?
Dude, you have to look at the Twitter. I'd be scheming, dog.
What are you scheming?
Tell everybody to go look at the Twitters.
Everybody go look at the Twitter. I'd be like that. Alarms, actual gunfire, atomic. Tim Petty!
It's alarms.
Dude, I was just sleeping. I don't know what happened.
Hey, boy.
So I think this will be our last statement of the day, since we were kind of like our audio was lagging out. But I fucking was dead asleep. So I don't know what happened. Like, I couldn't fall asleep last night. It was like 7:30 a.m. I had just watched like 10 episodes of anime. I was staying up. I was scrolling through TikTok. I was like, fuck, I can't fall asleep. I had just been trying to fall asleep for the past like 2 hours. So I'm walking around. I was like gonna make tea, but then I was like, oh, my phone's gonna die. I'll go charge it for a little bit, lay in bed, scroll through TikTok, and then I'll go make some tea. And then I'll text Riley and Sai around like 10:30, see if they want to get breakfast together. And fucking, I start scrolling through TikTok, and I'm like, you know what? Let's listen to some jazz music. It'll take like 10 minutes.
Oh, no, that's when
I'm
you know
like,
it's clipped.
if I'm gonna fall asleep, I have my alarm set for like every fucking 15 minutes from 10:30 to noon. So I'll wake up for Sai and Riley. I even have one for 1 o'clock in case if those don't work. And my family will probably wake me up. But I lay down. I start listening to jazz. I'm out like a light. And I don't remember anything from like 8:30 from like 8:30 until fucking Sai and Riley pull up at 1:30.
That's his idea, so you gotta...
Thank you, Riley. But fucking, I was literally so dead asleep.
Dude, we come in, he like walked in, he's like smiling. Like this fucking devil.
Dude, I hear my mom go, dude, good thing I fucking fell asleep in my clothes too.
Yeah.
Cause I'm usually fucking like butt ass naked.
what
I'd
I
have to
did,
be
too.
fucking
Out, dude.
zooming around. But fucking my fucking yeah, I was awake though. I don't remember anything from 8:30 to when you guys came, but I texted Marina twice. I texted my girlfriend twice.
Bro.
Two separate
Ghosted us,
messages.
dude. He
We
fucking
texted
ghosted
her
us.
to ask your whereabouts.
At 11.
We thought you were like incapacitated or
Yeah,
something.
we
You
thought
thought you
you
were
were
dead.
like captured by somebody, bro.
Yeah, you guys called me like 7 times. I feel so bad.
It's
So
fine.
I bought the coffee today.
But it's like, of course, it's the day that we have a new setup and we have to like figure it out.
Yeah, we had to fucking throw everything together so quick because I had to move all the stuff from the Creeker studio to Sai's house. Jesus.
What?
It was a fucking lot.
Yeah. We did this on like
We did it in
20 minutes.
Yeah, we did. We were out probably getting Tim. Took about 20 minutes to get like everything together, and then we set up in probably like 30 seconds.
To be totally fair, Bungo Stray Dogs anime. It's on Crunchyroll. Very good. Everybody
How
should
much
watch
is
it.
Crunchyroll?
I think you if you pay for the year, it's cheaper. It's $80 for the year.
$80. How
For
much
the
per month?
year.
How much per month?
So 80 divided by 12, it's less than 7. It's less than $7 a month.
I don't like pay like whenever like there's like yearly subscriptions or monthly subscriptions. I
'Cause
opt
I
for
don't
the
know where I'm gonna
month.
be a year from now. Dog.
Yeah,
I
dog.
paid
What do you
for it.
mean?
I paid for it this year. My brother paid for it
yeah.
last year.
We trust that you're gonna be a weeb a year from now because you were a year ago and the year before that, probably the year before that.
Dude, remember when I became a weeb? Sophomore year?
Y'all got
Now,
Disney
Can you tell them
Plus?
about the time that you did nothing but watch Naruto for
That's
2
when I
weeks
became a
straight?
weeb.
You watched it for 2 weeks straight. You literally were in class watching Naruto on the bus watching Naruto.
Because
going home watching
I
Naruto.
watch all of Naruto
There's a
and
kid
Naruto
talking right now watching
Shippuden.
Naruto.
I watched all of Naruto and Naruto Shippuden
When was
in
this? What
fucking
age?
2 weeks.
I never watched
841
Naruto.
episodes in 2 weeks. 20 minutes long. I would stay up all night watching it.
Tim
And
has zero self-control. I think that's
That's
what
the
we found
problem.
out.
Yeah.
because I got through the first 2 seasons in one night. And
One night?
yeah, because I started at like
Yeah.
7 and I
Okay.
finished it at like 7 a.m.
That's insane.
And I was like, I can't stop watching this.
Dude.
So I literally
It took me 4 months to watch Naruto, and I watch it like 5
I
episodes a day.
began watching it 24/7, and somebody was like, you couldn't watch. I remember I made a TikTok about this like at the beginning of the year. Because I was like, this is fucking impressive. And somebody's like, you can't watch Naruto in 2 weeks. I'm like, I was like, fucking, you want me to do the math? So I did the math. I have enough time to sleep for 8 hours a day. I think I said sleep 6 hours a day, go to school, and still watch every episode of Naruto. I would go to soccer practice. I wouldn't drive. My mom was driving at the time, so I was a sophomore. And I would have it on my phone. I would download the episodes from Netflix, and I would watch it. And then once I got to Shippuden, I would watch it illegally.
Yeah,
But I think this is the end.
Wait, were they asking about Naruto or about Creeker?
I don't know. I think they're new, so I think they were asking about.
Creeker's a new show. Naruto is pain.
I've never watched
Naruto's
Naruto.
good.
It's just pain.
What's the news? Well, we just finished it, so
Yeah, go watch the VOD. There's other VODs. too.
watch the VOD, watch our old VODs. Have a wonderful day. Stay healthy, stay safe, wear a mask.
Good morning, good day, good night. Peace out.
You are loved. You are loved.
Kiss a penis,
loved.
not an old man's. I don't know. That was a bad.
was
That
not a way
was.
to
I
end it.
shouldn't.
Oh my god.
It's fine.